Hey Blue Rockers, how are you? This is Blue Rock Talk and I'm Connie Willis. Thank you for joining me tonight. You weren't sure if I was coming, were you? I wasn't either. I actually learned some new software and I was doing some of that software tonight and I got pretty intrigued into it and that's where I was. So you'll be seeing some of that probably tomorrow night on Bigfoot Friday, okay? And also something, as some of you know, called Blue Rock Bafflers. So I'm happy that you're here. I know that everything's working tonight, and here's the Earth rise right behind me. So I hope everybody's doing well, and I hope that everybody's enjoying what is becoming the end of the summer. I can't believe it. Labor Day weekend is coming up. School's about to start. I'm seeing all these school day sales, and I'm also, believe it or not, and I had a video. I don't even want to show the video. I went into Kroger. We go Krogering in this part of the country. But I went Krogering and I first stepped in and there's a bunch of jack-o'-lanterns. Come on. Jack-o'-lanterns? Really? Sheesh. Amazing. It's crazy. August. It was early August when it was just, a couple weeks ago and I couldn't believe it. I took a picture of it and I don't even want that. It's too soon to even put that video up, even though I was going to be mad about it. So anyway, I hope that you're hearing me okay. I hope everything is well. When you see me look over this way, I am looking to read the live chat because that's the only way I can see it. YouTube has it kind of set up in a different way where I can't see it. So those of you that are here, please like everything, give me a like just because you like that it's here and you have something to go to. I'm hoping you like it as well. I don't want to push you into doing that, but I want to say a quick hello to some people. Diggity Dank is here from Montana. Hey there. You're all blue rockers. You're all blue rockers. Craig Beal from Akron, Ohio, not too far from where I am. Hey Connie, finally getting in here for a live event. Looking forward to it. That must be is that the, it's a Thea. Is that right, Thea? Is that it? Well, I'm glad you could make it. I'm glad that the notification works so that you can. And I appreciate that you're here. I really do. Thank you. And let's see. Fred Wilson is from NorCal. Oh, is that like Northern Cal? Is that what that is? Got the lingo going. Let's see here. Who else is here? I hate to show you my side, but it's the only way I can look at this. You're on a spaceship, aren't you, Connie? Maybe. That's why I'm on the moon here. I'm able to breathe the atmosphere here. Yes, there's atmosphere. Shh, don't tell everybody. Tia, my bad. Hello. Oh, that's Diggity Dank talking. Diggity, being very kind to everybody. Thank you, Diggity. There's total bugs in this room from all the lights I have on. Word of the day from Kevin in my blue. Leave it to Kevin to help out here. Krogering. Gotta spell it right now. Get rid of that first E. Jason Miller. Hello, Jason. How are you? Hey, Arlo, Seattle. What time is Bigfoot Friday? Bigfoot Friday is 10 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night. Bigfoot Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern. Arlo, I saw your questions there. I have been so overwhelmed. I'll get to that in just a second here. Your audio is on point, crisp and clear. Thank you very much. Everybody can hear just fine. I appreciate that. Halloween candy in the general stores since after 4th of July. That's absolutely crazy. And greetings from Pittsburgh. So hey everybody, and I hope some more join in. Please, while you're here, subscribe if you haven't already. Those of you, please leave comments below. And at one point at the very end of this, I'm hoping my people that normally do this, but even anybody listening now can take it upon themselves to please cut and paste the entire live feed, the live chat for me at the end, because I don't see where I can save it here on YouTube, and I want to put it down in the comments below. So anybody that's not here that normally does do that, because I don't see anybody here yet that does, maybe Kevin might or somebody, just at the very end of it, if you're still here, please cut and paste the live chat into the comments. What happens is after I stop the live chat, it closes off for a while, then it'll show back up, and that's when you can leave comments. So if anybody can help out, that'd be great. I like to read the chat. So if anybody has a question, that's where you want to put it. And again, because it's over on the side, I don't always see it. I hope to look for it and check it out. So hope that there's something in there for me. Let's see. Awesome. Thanks, Connie. I was here looking for something to do, and you pop up. Well, there you go. Tell me what you guys want to talk about, and we can do that. I don't have a guest for tonight. So this is what's going on. So you'll wonder, why have I not been around? What's been going on? Quite a few things. A lot of the things I couldn't talk about at the time. And some of the things I still can't talk about. But, I'm overwhelmed with a lot of things happening. And due to that, that's where I am right now. That's why a lot of emails have not been answered. You should see my messenger on Facebook. It's just loaded with people with ideas and thoughts and wants and desires and stories and events, and I just can't get to them. And by the way, anybody that's got the messenger onto the Facebook there, I don't think it's on the separate messenger on my iPad as the computer one. They're all different, right? All the platforms are different, but the messenger one now, if you invite someone, or if they're new to you, or if they're new to Messenger, they go at the top of the list of your messages. So you have all these people that you have to scroll down in order to get your messages. So at first you don't see that. It's a joke. I don't know whose idea that was, but I don't want that there. I've got more digging to do, more deleting to do, and it's already overwhelming. So I know some of you guys might have that problem too, but that's where, if I'm not getting to you, I apologize. I'm backed up on answering messages on YouTube as well. But what I did is I took a week and went on what we thought was going to be a pilot for a new show. Didn't work out. It didn't work out. I did meet some really interesting people. And I also met some really fantastic people that will also be friends of mine for a very, very long time. Pilot's not going to work out. However, some neat things happen. So you guys saw me in Vegas doing some neat little things. And one of the really cool things, besides going out there and meeting John Lear and getting to know his wife very well too, she and I are, like this now. She's wonderful, wonderful lady. But she's in my world. She's in the TV and film world. She's an agent. So we really hit it off and had a good time talking. We've got that level going on. You know what I'm saying? So that was really cool. But also on my last day while I was out there, I got to spend the day at the Coast to Coast Studios. So that was really, really cool too. And I did a live broadcast from there, maybe a couple of them, and that's where it was very funny because I'm there a little earlier. I know the VP of Premier Syndicate, that's who does Coast to Coast, and he's actually from Louisville, Kentucky. Back in the heyday of radio, Louisville had just had a ton of people here and just went all over the place in the success of radio and iHeartMedia and Premier Syndicate and some other ones. A lot of these people were in Louisville, from Louisville, or passed through Louisville. Big, big names. It's amazing to me that would be the case, but it's true. But anyway, the VP there, Premier, President, both Kentuckians. But I was hanging out with him, and it was so funny because George Norrie comes in around 2 o'clock. His show's on at 10 p.m. Pacific. And he's in at 2 o'clock. And it was so funny because he goes, "All right, Willis, you make sure you tell people that I'm here at 2 o'clock, and I do it every day." He is very kind, funny, witty, and to me, he's just a very humorous guy. Just he's quick to the point with little words, and I appreciate that. It was just very funny to say that, and he calls me a Willis. So, speaking of, we did a Where's Willis when I was at John Lear's house. That was really cool. And we're going to have some more Where's Willis's coming up, but I can't tell you. I'm just not allowed to do that. But I'm really looking forward to that. And I really, really enjoyed my day at Coast to Coast. I didn't get to meet Tommy Danheiser at that point. I was hoping I would. But George talked to me several times throughout the day. And I was in the, he allowed me to shoot in the studio. That was fantastic. We took a bunch of pictures as well and had a really good time. It was really fun. He took care of me. The VP took care of me. And it was just exciting to be there and felt good. It felt like I was at home. When you go somewhere and you feel like you're at home? I felt like I was safe at home, and it was so awesome. It was just really nice. And George, at the time, by the way, he didn't want to be on camera. I understand. If I don't want to be on camera too, I don't want you to put me on camera. That's kind of our work, right? So I was in the studio and I was doing my thing and doing a little live thing. You can see it. It's here. The video's there. I think it says, I don't remember what it's called. Anyway, it was something like, I don't know, you'll see it a couple videos back, but it wasn't a Where's Willis. It was something else, but it says something about live cameo from George. But I'm in the studio and the door's right behind me. And I'm just chatting away and talking away. And I got the Coast sign behind me. It's really cool. The logo from the wall. And, George just said he didn't want to go on. And then he walks into the studio. Now, he'll admit to this. I did tell him where I was going to be and what I was doing. And he was cool with it. But he completely forgot. So he walks in. And I'm going, no, trying to cover for him, right? Because he said he didn't want to be on. And then, of course, he slid back by and did a little wave and did a little cameo and said, something like enjoy, Connie, or something like that. But after I left there, after I did the bit, I was so embarrassed because I knew he didn't want to go on, and I understand. I wouldn't want him to do it to me. But when I went out afterwards and said, I'm so sorry, he went, no, you told me it was my fault. I'm sorry, I forgot. It was just funny, and it was a really nice surprise, actually. It turned out to be something cool, and I appreciate that. Just the way he is, he's really cool. Those of you that haven't met him, he's a really neat guy. He really is. He's on the ball. So let me see what you guys got going on here. Minnesota, that's so cool. So cool from Minnesota. This is my first ever live chat, Craig Beal. Oh, great. Well, a lot of times everybody just chats amongst themselves, and I just am over here babbling away. Now, other times, too, I'll have somebody that I can talk to, an expert, and we're kind of doing that thing. Sometimes it's live, sometimes it's taped. And by the way, I have learned recently, I'm not sure how to do it yet, but I have learned that I can actually tape a show, an interview, and I can air it in a live stream, and then I can actually do, what's good about that is I can talk in the live chat with you. So as you guys are chatting, I can actually, while the show's going, I can actually chat with you. Like right now, it's very hard. But I think that's pretty cool. I might do that in the future. I think that's a good idea. When do you start the announcing gig? Oh, sure, the cutting and pasting on me, Kevin. That's funny. Kevin is M.I. Blue. If you are on my Blue Rock Talk Facebook page, you're going to see comments and posting from another administrator, and that is Kevin. That's all I'm going to say. He's actually M.I. Blue instead of M.I.B. as in Men in Black. He is Man in Blue. And he's very funny. He's got a great sense of humor. And he's very knowledgeable about what to do, what not to do when it comes to social media, as well as content in the world of Blue Rock Talk. So he's very sarcastic at times too. So you got to get over that at first. If you see him being sarcastic to me, it's a term of endearment. Like he just writes, "Oh sure, put the cutting and pasting on me." All right. He's probably smiling right now, or at least I hope so. The announcing gig. What's the announcing gig, Jason? What's the announcing gig? Aren't you a woman of mystery, Connorella? Okay, Arlo Zarlo. Do I know you? People used to call me, like, they'd use that name Connorella along the way. Arlo Zarlo. Gotta know who Arlo is for real. Am I a woman of mystery? Huh. Sorry the pilot didn't work out. Did it at least get a shot? Well, we gave it a shot and we all got together and gave it a shot. Loved your interview with John Lear. What a great gig. It was cool to talk with John, and I plan to do one in the future. He said that he would go on with me, not a problem. And I will like that. That'll be fun. I actually did get to interview him, but I don't know if I'll ever get to see that interview because that was for the show. And I hope they send it to me. The director said that he would. I hope so. I hope so. That would be nice. Otherwise, he's going to sit around somewhere. Slee Stack. I'm sorry I missed the chat on Coast. Well, you're here now. Christopher, I hope you can get Bobo Fay on Bigfoot Friday. Okay, I hope you can get Bobo Fay on Bigfoot Friday sometime soon. He has great stories. Christopher, absolutely. Bobo is really cool. And your wish is my command. About 45 minutes ago or so, I got some information, and I'm going to tell you about that in a minute. I am a woman of mystery. There's so many things I can tell you, and so many things I can't tell you right now that's coming up. So I want to just say hi to everybody here. How old were you? Okay, Jason, this is what you said. How old were you when I started out in broadcasting? We'll leave it at that. And what were some of my first jobs? You know what? I always knew that I wanted to be in television. I never thought about radio ever in my life, and never knew a YouTube would ever exist. But I always wanted to be in TV and film. It was mainly film. I always thought I was going to be in film as a child. So my first thoughts, some people used to call me movie star. That was my nickname from some people. And as a kid, my friends or my sister would always tell people, she wants to be a movie star, she wants to be a movie star. And then as I started learning in college and things like that, my first gig was television, actually, an in-house program for Good Samaritan hospitals. That was really cool, and that was video. However, my first job, and this was even before I graduated, both of these, was radio. And I never wanted to do radio, but of course I took it as broadcast. I mean, of course you're going to. But I never thought it was going to be radio. I just never thought about it. One of my teachers, performance class, Clay Gauntz at the University of Kentucky, had said to me, when asking our goals, at the beginning of classes, mine was film, then television, and that was really about it. And so the third one, I would just put radio because it was broadcast. It was in the medium for the most part. And he said to me, Connie, you will find that radio will be your best foundation. And he was right. It's the best foundation. It allows you to become a one-take Willis in television in the future. Radio is live, and if you mess up, you got to get back on track and not do the things that most people do, like cut, do over. Well, you can't. It's live. You got to deal with it. And you got to laugh at yourself or not hold something against yourself. So radio really teaches you a lot, and it teaches you to really hone in on your craft so that you can get it done the first time. And if you don't, it's okay. So when I would go shoot any TV shows or any type of film, I'm like, look, no rehearsal, you got to do it. And they'd be, oh, no, we got to have rehearsal. It's like, no. I'm one take Willis. I'm from radio. We get it all done the first time, and we get worse as it goes, where an actor, should get better as they go. That at least is what they say. If you see me go, I'm swatting at these bugs that are attracted to these great lights that I've got around me. So anyway, I've always known that I wanted to be in radio, or at least in film. Radio came later, but I always knew I wanted to be in front of lights and cameras. And at one point, a cool psychic out of Camp Casadega, that's close to Orlando, Daytona Beach. area where psychics live there, and they can only live there if they have passed many tests. And if you don't pass those tests, you don't live there. And really neat area to go and get your readings, because they all work together and get better and better. But one of those psychics had said to me one time, you did this in a past life, and that's why you've always known what you wanted to do. And that was a lifetime question for me. Why is it that some people are in college forever and ever and ever, and they still don't know what they want to do? How could people not know what they wanted to do? I had known innately ever since I could remember, and that was really cool to hear that guy say that, because I didn't even solicit the question. He just looked at me and said, it was a lifelong question, and he looked at me and he said, you did what you're doing now before in a past life, and that's why you've always known what you've wanted to do. And I thought that was really, really cool. So I've been, so my first job was in radio in Lexington, doing overnight at a broadcast radio station, Georgetown, Lexington. It was WMGB Magic 103. Did overnights there. And mornings a lot, because the morning guys never showed up. That's small time radio for you. They never showed up. They rarely showed up. Maybe one of them might, but I still had to stay on because the other dude didn't know how to run the board. So I was killing myself doing 6 hours overnight, and then of music, right? And just music and hitting them. And these were short songs. They weren't like in a Gata de Vida, man. They were short songs, so you had to stay alert the entire time. And then I had to be on for the morning show. And that, you know how morning shows are, right? So it was crazy. However, it gave me a lot of experience, and that was great. I learned more than most people because of that situation. And those of you out there that ever think about radio, keep in mind that it really doesn't matter about market size. You know, you think that and you're taught that. And how cool, of course, to be in LA or New York. But first of all, if you go to a smaller one, you're going to learn a whole lot more things quicker, and it's really good for you. But if you are worried about market size, just keep in mind that you better like where you live when you're done with your shift. You better like where you go home to. I had been in San Antonio several times because one of my brothers lived there, and I would go and stay months at a time. However, when I took a job in San Antonio, I didn't stay long. I wasn't really happy at the time living there. It just didn't feel right, and it wasn't right. And I left there very quickly. It just wasn't right. However, it was a cool station. I met great people, and it was the actual real KISS call letters and the real KOOL call letters. So it's cool to be able to say I was there. That was pretty cool. What was your first job ever, and in what cave? Slee Stacks. That was at the radio station. That was the first job ever. Well, or Good Samaritan Hospital, I guess you should say. It was a video. Good Samaritan Hospital. It was called Good News. It was called The Good News. And we did positive. I was an anchor and feature reporter, and I was the only one. But we did all these neat little shows to run in all the Good Samaritan hospitals around the country in-house, and they were neat little feature stories about, you know, different things that were happening with Good Samaritan Hospital. It was all good news. It was called The Good News, and we usually shot for about 2 hours. I think it might have been an hour show, maybe a half-hour show. But we always shot a minimum of 2 hours, and even for the most, I think that's about all we did. But I made $60 or $80 an hour. And as your first job, that's pretty darn cool. You're like, what? I was still in college, right? I was like, what? Okay. Is that enough? Can you handle it? Yeah, I mean, I think it was $60. But that was incredible. That was incredible. I was happy about that. Okay, all right. So I never got to meet Art Bell, Except we exchanged a couple of years back. It was a couple of years back. Well, it was more than that because it was before I ever even thought that I might even be on Coast to Coast ever. But we did go back and forth on Facebook before. He probably doesn't remember it, knows nothing about me. I mean, I don't know, he might know now. I've been on Coast coming up on 3 years, so that's really neat. And again, it was great to go to Coast a couple weeks back and be there. So coming up in the future for Blue Rock Talk, something really neat is coming up. Now, let me tell you, I got some new software, so I'm going to be playing with that and doing some really cool, unique things with it. Not that you care about that, but I do, and that's what's kind of held me back on some things. You'll probably see some of that tomorrow night if I master it enough to get it on tomorrow night for Bigfoot Friday. It's really exciting for me, so it's fun, and I'm trying to learn it. So that's where some of I'm not around. As most of you know, I'm a caretaker for my mom. She's got Parkinson's. She's 81, and it takes a lot of my time, a lot. She really needs attention, and it's me. That attention is me. I've been taking her to therapy and doing some other things a lot lately. So, but coming up on Labor Day weekend, I will be at my first real big event with Blue Rock Talk. I mean, I've been at different things. I did the Trump rally that came into town, and I've done other events, don't get me wrong, you guys know this, but it's kind of like an event where people are coming and we're gonna, it's kind of about Blue Rock Talk, and that's pretty neat. So I've been asking people, I'm either gonna call it the Big Blue Rock Bash, the Blue Rocker Bash, Blue Rock Stock, like Woodstock. Maybe you have another name. There's going to be Bigfooters out there. There's going to be UFO people out there at this event. There's going to be people, shamans. There's going to be very spiritual type, folks out there. There's going to be, it's not just UFOs. It's aliens and psychics and, aliens won't be there. They might be there, but, people that are into that. It's kind of all of it. Radionics, just a lot. It's a collage of things. So if any of that helps you, then let me know. And somebody mentioned Bobo, and so I got that he might be there. I got that he will be there. However, you never know with Bobs. So I'm not going to totally throw my hat in on that, but I hope he does. Bobo, I hope you show up. It'll be great. He is a great guy. He's really nice, kind, funny, and very giving person. Some of the other people that I know are going to be stopping by now, I just want you to know it's not a place where anybody can show up. It is someone's home. I don't know if I can, I'll have to ask them if I can say their name or not in the future. And unless she's on here, she can let me know. But it's at someone's house, and they're hosting the event, and people are coming and going throughout Labor Day weekend. Some people will stay longer than others. I can tell you that your Squatch Man and Son of Squatch Man will be there, so that's going to be cool. Ron Moorhead and Carrie will be showing up as well. I don't know how many days they're staying. I think they are not staying as long as they thought before, but I hope so. Some people will be inside the house that they have, and some people are in the guest house. And some people will be out around a bonfire with all their tents and things like that. So these are people that have all that equipment and can do that and live in that area, which is in the Pacific Northwest. So, like I said, just heard that Bobo is going to show. So that's between you blue rockers right now. And I hope he does. And if so, you'll see all these people. So Ron Moorhead, Tom Powell is supposed to, and with Ron is Carrie. Whenever there's Ron Moorhead, there's Carrie. It's just the way it is, Carrie Campbell. And you've heard me interview both of them on Coast. They're both incredibly intelligent people, very fun to listen to, very fun to be around, very kind and giving. And it's always nice to see this couple together because they kind of finish each other's sentences. Or Carrie might finish Ron's because Ron's a low and slow talker. and Carrie's quicker. It's great. It's fun to watch them and be around them. And I'm sure they'll sing. There'll be some really neat campfire discussions. And Carrie's really good at cooking. So I'm excited for that to be the case too. I've had her cooking. I haven't had anybody else's cooking from there that I know that's going to be there. But I know her cooking is fantastic. Squatchman and Son of Squatchman, I said that they're going to be there. I know Squatchman's cooking is not that great. Only because I heard the behind the scenes. So Squatchman, when you see this, I think you know what I'm talking about, or at least Eugene, your son of Squatchman, will admit to the burning of the wonderful pot roast and veggies that you put together on the campfire. There will not be any of that. I told on him. Samantha Ellen Ritchie is going to be there. I'm really excited about that. She also was on Coast to Coast. I interviewed her there and also interviewed her here on Blue Rock Talk. Be sure to check her out on the videos here if you haven't, or if you're a Coast insider, make sure you check out her conversation on Coast. Fantastic. And she's got her own YouTube channel, Planet Sasquatch, which will be fantastic because, I'm going to be live streaming while I'm there for that weekend. And so Labor Day weekend, I'll be doing live streaming. I'll be taping a lot of stuff too because we're going to be out in the wooded area. We're at the bottom of 3 volcanoes in the Pacific Northwest in Washington. So depending on Wi-Fi, we'll see what we get so we can live stream for you. I plan to live stream interviews and just the bonfire and what we're doing and just the different things that are happening. This is going to be a lot of fun. Just, good, fun stuff. So that's what's going to be happening on Labor Day weekend. So hopefully Bobo, Squatchman, Son of Squatchman, Samantha Ellen Ritchie, Ron Moorhead, and Carrie Campbell, and Tom Powell should be there. He's also, I interviewed him on Coast to Coast. I was trying to get Clyde Lewis, but apparently there's another event going on close to that area, and it's a Bigfoot event, and I guess Russell Accor's putting that on, and he's going to have Gimlin there, and so that's another thing going on, but some of them are, when that's over, they're going to come over our way. So it should be a really good time. I wish, I don't know whose name I can say or not. I don't know who wants to say anything, and I don't want to jinx it yet. But those are some of the names. So I'll be back on, and I'll tell you some more as things come along. So let me see if any of you guys left some names that you might like here. Oh my gosh, there's so much chat going on. So some of you guys have come up with some names. Maybe you can redo that because I wish I could make this chat bigger. It doesn't let me do that. Lets me hide it, but it doesn't let me see it. Okay. So let me get here to it. Forgive me. Hey, Deborah Jane East, what's up? What's going on, girlfriend? Yo, hey. Jason, you want to know more about the mediums and the group? What are you talking about? The name and video, YouTube videos. Lori Williams is one with the Bafflers. I don't have any other psychics on here or mediums. Let's see. I know I saw some names in here. It's ridiculous. The Blue Rock Bash. The Blue Rock Bash. Blue Rock Bash. The Blue Rock Bash. Blue Rocker Bash. Big Blue Rock Bash. Do we just get rid of Bash? Blue Rockers Unite. So anyway, add some more. That'll be great. So I told you about Labor Day weekend, part of it. really looking forward to that. It's really going to be a good time, and I'm just going to have a blast. You're just going to have a lot of live streaming happening, and there'll be some interviews too. There'll be very casual interviews. You know, we'll be eating, we'll be cooking out, we'll be by the fire. We're going to be singing songs, or they will. I broadcast and talk for a living because I can't sing. And we're just going to have a good time. Okay, we're going to have a good time. People are going to talk about what you talk about there. So that's going to be, I'm excited about it. It's my first one, and the people that are going to be there are all very special. And I'd like to share that with you. So I hope that you can make it. So now, what else is coming up? On Coast to Coast, I'll be on Coast to Coast this Sunday night, and we're going to have something really cool is happening here in Kentucky, August 21st at, I think, 2:10 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be the solar eclipse. And in Western Kentucky, out of the entire planet, Western Kentucky is going to be where it will be the absolute darkest on the planet when we got that shadow on the sun. This is going to be it. That's cool. It's 3 hours from where I am. So I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to talk to people where to go because it's going to be jam-packed. It's a little town, folks. Tiny town, farmland, things like that. So some people apparently are renting out or leasing their farmland. If there's anybody watching this from Kentucky that can help me jump onto your property, that'd be great. Please, that would be awesome. I'd like to live stream it myself. I'd like any tips on how I can view it and live stream it. And that's going to be difficult with all the Wi-Fi there, by the way, and the bandwidth. I don't know. I may just have to record it and then show it later. But anyway, it's the solar eclipse that's happening on the 21st, and I'm really hoping to be there. But everybody's going to be there from across the planet. Everybody is coming. I mean, there's other areas to watch it, but the darkest spot on the entire planet is going to be in Western Kentucky. And because of that, you're going to have all the major networks there and all the people that, the bigger dollar folks that can make it there because that's what they're going to do because they're in, like NASA is supposed to be there. Okay? So all the biggest players are going to be in the darkest spot so they can get the best video and coverage of it. Okay? So I'm really looking forward to this. 3 hours away. I'm hoping to be able to do it. You got to understand, I'm trying to build this YouTube channel so I can get back into doing what I was before, and that is full-time broadcasting. Now, I can continue to pitch shows to networks, and I can continue to audition for shows for network, but it's not as fun anymore. Maybe if somebody calls me and wants to do things, that's cool, but I got to tell you, folks, it's not easy, that world. You never know if your show's going to be on another season. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what they're going to do to you. The network might like your show, but not like you. So it's all based on ratings about this and that, and they move your show from one night to another. It's exciting, but it's not. It's never solid. It's never stable. But this can be stable, and I really like it. I can do what I want. I can talk as much as I want. I can go on or off, or 2-minute thing or 3-hour thing. So I really enjoy this, and I want to really make it happen. So in doing that, you got to go to these different events and things like that. And I was actually trying to make a point, but I lost it. I'm so sorry. Gosh, I don't even know why. Maybe because it's burning up where I am. Why did I just lose my train of thought? I know why. Little Penny's down here bugging me and scratching my leg. That's why. I don't want to bring her up because we're both burning up in here. And she's a fur ball. But I might in a minute. So, anyway, I'm just trying to build this so that I can do this and bring all these things to you in a permanent way. There was something else to that, but I don't remember what it was. Darn. Anyway, you know what? So on that note, I got to tell you what. Let me just take a break, take care of Penny real quick, because she obviously wants to go outside and take her little break. So you know what? Let's do that. Let's give Penny her break. We will do that now. So you are watching Blue Rock Talk with Connie Willis. I'm Connie Willis, and I appreciate that you guys are here, and I will be right back. Stay with me. Hey Blue Rockers, welcome back. This is Blue Rock Talk with Connie Willis, and I'm Connie Willis. So I'm looking at your questions over here on the other computer, so sorry when I turn my head, but I've got some more questions over here. First of all, Planet Sasquatch, that is Samantha Ellen Ritchie. Hey Samantha, I see that you're here. I'm looking forward to seeing you Labor Day weekend. That's going to be a good time. And boy, I think we're hoping that you come for longer. I don't know if she got to talk to you today. I gotta know who I can talk about, who's going to be there and who's not, and where it is. I want to be cool and not give away too much before I should. But so Samantha, I hope that you come earlier. I'm going to be there like the 30th through the 6th. I'm hoping that you can come earlier and we can all do some things before some other people get there, where we can do things for Blue Rock Talk together. You can help me with maybe some shooting and stuff, and vice versa. We can do the same for you with Planet Sasquatch. So I want people to know that that's another YouTube channel that you need to go check out, Planet Sasquatch. That is Samantha Ellen Ritchie's. So while you're here, absolutely subscribe to me if you haven't already, but make sure you go and subscribe to her too. She's really got some very interesting things that she sees all the time. She's deep into it, man. And she's from Kentucky. So let's see, did I wash my hands? Yes, and I made little Penny wash her little paws as well. It was a potty break. See, you'll be there longer? Excellent, great. Well, that'll be awesome. So we'll have to talk at one point just to make sure we have all the right, things. I know what I'm going to be bringing to be able to live stream and be there, but and shoot what I can. But she's a master. She knows all this stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. August 31st. Well, I'm going to be there August 30th. Come on, chick, get there August 30th. Let's see, what else? Somebody had something. Jason, you were asking. The special invite mediums that you mentioned earlier. No, it's not mediums. It's Labor Day weekend. We're going to have a Blue Rocker Bash or Blue Rock Bash or something like that. Still coming up with the names. Give me ideas, folks. Give me ideas. No, it's just a bunch of people that somebody else on their property is pulling together for this bash. So it's not an invitation for everybody to come to. It's not a conference or anything like that. It's somebody's home, and they're inviting people that they know to come to this, and it's their property, which is kind of in the middle of nowhere kind of thing. So looking forward to that. So I don't know, there might be some mediums there, probably. So that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I hope, Jason, that helped you out. And that'll be Labor Day weekend. We'll be live streaming from there and doing some recordings as well. Going to be interviewing quite a bit of people. I hope that answered you. Blue Rock Cooking Show. Well, we'll be doing some of that. Blue Rock Blast Off. Ooh, the Blue Rock Blast Off. It is the first one. Good idea, Deborah. Okay, so somebody was talking, John Zgrabic. Yo, Zgrab this. I can't help it, John. Sorry. Barbara Island's an incredible indie person. This Sunday night on Coast to Coast, that's what I was talking about before. My first guest is going to be the STARGEEZER. And the STARGEEZER is Mark Stephen Williams. He's out of Louisville, and he is an astronomer. You can go to stargeezerastronomy.com, I believe, and you can see who he is. But he's going to be on for the first hour, and he's going to talk about the eclipse that's coming up. And he's going to tell you ways to look at it and different ways to observe it that you may not even understand until he talks to you about it. Because it's really cool, one of the ideas he has that people don't ever think about. And I'm really looking forward to that. I'll leave it as a surprise for you. He's going to be on the first hour. And then, again, this is Sunday night on Coast. Then we're going to talk to Albert Taylor. Albert was on Coast to Coast years back. It's been a long time since he's been on, but he is an astral projector. He has a lot of out-of-body experiences, and he has ever since a child, and he still does. Albert was an aeronautical engineer. He worked with NASA, and a very intelligent man, and you're going to like him. Great personality, a lot of fun to talk to. He's got a lot of really cool stories, and he's going to tell you about astral projection, which is something I've always wanted to do, and something he can't help but do. That's going to be on Sunday night. So, John, you were mentioned Barbara Ireland, so I'll have to look her up at one point. Jason, Blue Rock Blue Moon Swoon. The Blue Rock Blue Moon Swoon. That might be too many letters that you got to pay for on the shirt, on the t-shirt, right? That's great. Let's see. Arlo, did I get your message on Lori Williams being on another talk show? I believe I did. She's actually been hitting a lot of them. I tell you what, she was known before, especially to remote viewers and other people. But, Coast to Coast is a wonderful, wonderful thing too, and really blew her out there as well. And, she's staying very, very busy, and I hope it's not too busy that we can't get back to our bafflers. We got to do that. At one point she got pretty busy, then I got pretty busy. But, we still plan to do more bafflers. I'm really excited about that. Did you have fun with the Coast to Coast AM chat with George? Hey, DJ. I did have fun. It was a really quick, I guess, half hour is what it was. Like, George was on the first half hour, then I was on the second half hour. And it was very quick. And you know how when you chat, you send something, then you got to wait, and then you got to wait when people read it and see it and wait. Just like I'm doing here. I had a lot of that going on. So didn't get a lot of answers back and forth because some people would ask me some things that there was no way. Were you one of those? That there was no way I could answer these things because they were incredibly good, wonderful, really interesting questions that I had never even thought about before. So I couldn't give an answer. I had nothing to base it on. But I wanted to get their answer because obviously they knew something about it. And I wanted to hear their thoughts. And, just by the time everything would go around, you didn't get those answers. So I do have the transcript that I'm going to be checking out and looking at. And so that'll be nice. I can read back, and maybe there were some answers that came through. A lot of people actually emailed me and said that they didn't get their questions in, that they put them in and they didn't come out. So, there is somebody there that brings the questions in, and they filter them through. And not that yours would have been a bad one, whoever that may have been, or those of you out there, if you didn't get one in. It's just that there's a nice volume. There's a lot of Coast Insiders. I hope to have half as many Blue Rockers out there. Intermission. Da, 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 da. Did I wash my hands. That's so funny. Oh, DJ, you pulled your message back. Come on. Boo. So, John, you know Albert Taylor. He is great, isn't he? That's going to be a really good coast. I'm really looking forward to that. Super smart and funny. Absolutely. I love when you mix intelligence and humor. It just makes for, some very special people. I like that. Very fun to talk to. I love Blue Rock Talk, Miss Willis. Thank you, DJ. I appreciate that. Like the roundup. The roundup. You mean the Blue Rock Talk roundup or something? Is that what you're meaning there, Kevin? So I appreciate that you guys are here. Please like while you are here so that we can add that up and get more of those likes on there. And please share this to other people on your Facebook and get them over here to watch this. And please share even afterwards too. So I wanted to make sure that I had a show on tonight to let you know that I have been thinking about you. I've been doing a lot just trying to pull things together. There's also something I'm going to do too. Now, we got Bigfoot Friday. We got the Blue Rock Talk Bafflers, Lori Williams and the remote viewing. And we've got kind of generic Thursday, I guess, talking about anything, Q&As, whatever. And I've got a lot of other segments I want to do, talking about books, people's books. And by the way, I'm going to put down below the description or a link in the description box to Albert Taylor's book, so maybe you can check that out before Sunday night when I have him on Coast. I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, I'll remind you too, I had a show on to let you know that I have been thinking about you. I've been doing a lot just trying to pull things together. Also something ability to now we got before Friday of Blue Rock Talk Basslers, Lori Williams and remotely, and we got kind of generic Thursday. I guess I'm a talk about anything, Q&As, whatever him, and there's a lot of other segments I want to do. You talking about books, by the way, I'm going to play.
Siri, stop!
When would you like to be reminded?
Okay, I never use Siri, and it just comes on when you ask a question? Sorry, I've got it turned on. I even have it turned down and Siri can still talk. Now that's scary. I guess I said something that sounded like Siri. How do you stop this? Stop the madness. As Kevin would say on the Shark Tanks. On Shark Tank. So anyway, I want to do segments on like devices. If you have a device, like a radionics machine or a ghost box or anything like that, bugs, or anything like that, I asked you to let me know so that I can do some stuff on you. I can do a video on you. You can sell your product on here, that kind of thing. I want to help everybody out and spread the word. And there's also, talking about books. I may start doing some book reviews because I have to read them before I go on. I might as well do that and give you, an idea of if you want to do them or not, read them or not. A lot of them are already bestsellers, so it's not even hard to do. But why not take advantage of that so you guys can see if you want to get the books too. But there's something else coming up, and I'm really excited about it because I've finally been able to do this. And I think I thought I had somebody doing it with me, maybe not. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to be doing something else kind of cool too. And one of the things I've been wanting to do is look for a couple different things. Another search, not search for Bigfoot, not search for aliens, not search for UFOs, not search for, other different things. I mean, those, of course, are still going to happen, but the search for gold, the search for silver, the search for meteorites, the search for, somebody's lost ring, metal detector. I've been talking about a couple different ads called the Technetics 2 T2 Special Edition Metal Detector. I've done ads, if you've watched any of my video, kind of my own ads. And I've said before, hey, this is one I want to get. If you get it first, let me know how it works. Well, guess what? I've got one coming on Saturday in the mail. So I'm looking forward to it. I can't believe it. And I'm just really excited about it. I found actually a good deal on one. Somebody's only used it 3 times. Only 3 times. And when I used to have my metal detector, I used it about a handful of times too. and had to sell it off. So I think it's kind of karma has come around. That was the one I was wanting. I was recommended that by a tremendous source. And so anyway, I'm really excited. It's coming on Saturday. I might do like an unboxing kind of thing. A lot of people on YouTube do these unboxing videos. I don't know, maybe. But it would be fun. Besides getting the metal detector, I'm also getting a pinpointer. It also is supposed to arrive on Saturday. But a pinpointer is, once you find what you're, signal with the metal detector, then when you start digging, you can use that pinpointer to really get down and dirty and save you a whole lot more time and less digging by putting that pointer right up to it. And, you can go around the entire hole that you dug and you'll know exactly where to go after that. So it saves you a lot of time, and it's really nice. Now, I actually had a choice of two. One of them most people call the Carrot. It's a Garrett one. And then the one that I ended up getting is like a TRX7 white or something like that. But the difference that really caught my eye, they're both waterproof and things like that. And they're both about $150. But the two different ones, let's say these are it. One of them, you can get the signal like at the point of it. Here's the pointer, and you like this. Let's say you want to get the signal here. This one, there's one where the signal is going to be all around it. All sides of your pointer stick. Well, that kind of defeats the purpose, doesn't it? Because now it's all around it. Well, where is it? The other one that I chose, which is the White's TRX7 or something like that. I'll remember it more later. But you only get the detection at the point, and then that's good. So you can point wherever you want, and where it points, you're going to get. It's not going to be off to the side here or there, and you have to guess that too. So anyway, that's why I picked that one over the other ones. So I get the metal detector on Saturday. I get the pinpointer on Saturday, which is the mini one that can go down into the holes. And, being in Kentucky, it'll be, definitely dirt that you dig into. And then I'm also getting, I could probably went to Kmart or Target or Myers or, Walmart or whatever and gotten one of these tools as a garden tool. But I got one from White's because I actually like the handle better, but it's where you dig into the dirt. It's a handheld shovel. Looks like a freaking dagger indented. And it looks freaking dangerous for sure. But it's steady, it tang all the way through, and a nice handle that's round and comfortable. And it's made for treasure hunters. So went ahead and splurged on that one, and I'm really excited. It all comes in on Saturday. So this Saturday, I'm going to unbox it all and enjoy it myself, whether I tape it or not. Tell me if you're interested in any of that kind of stuff, because I'm also going to put another playlist up of, searching metal detecting, right? So let me know if that interests you. My main goal, one of the things I really want to do is I want to find meteorites. I want to find something that's, out here somewhere, maybe from the moon, or, they fall here on the planet. And by the way, Kentucky's had meteorites hit here. In fact, in Kentucky, somewhere here in Kentucky, I can't remember the city, but it's the only city on the planet that is actually built inside a crater hole, in the center of a crater. It's here in Kentucky. So anyway, I want to go meteorite hunting. I think that would be fun. I definitely want to find gold. And here in Kentucky, there's a lot of history, so, you can find all that historical kind of stuff. I'm not into that as much. I know a lot of ghost people are into it. A lot of people are into the Civil War stuff. And I don't know. Feel weird at somebody's possession. I don't know. And what if that, was that bullet in somebody? I don't know. I want a meteorite. I want something on another planet that's been out in space. I just think that's cool. And gold is, I can handle that. So let me know if you think that's exciting, because that'll be something else I'm going to do. Arlo, Slee Stack. You can find lots of relics and Civil War stuff. And I don't know, that's kind of, I don't know. I always hated history. And maybe that's what's just fighting me right now, I don't know. I don't want someone else's belt buckle in my house or something, it's just, from years ago that's no longer around. And does that make sense? I don't know. Some people are turned on by that. They love it. And they can borrow my metal detector and go do that if they want. I mean, I'll still probably do something like that, but I want to get coins. I want money. Show me the money. Let's see. Catch All Thursday. Nice one, Arlo. Nice. Let's see. Did you get to choose your guest, Arlo? Have you ever had one you weren't comfortable with? I will tell you that, and then we'll wrap up the show tonight. And by the way, a good friend of mine brought up this scenario when I had lunch with him not too long ago. I do get to pick my guest. However, there's times when I will be suggested a guest, and that'll be great. That'll be great. So that's fine with me too. And there's times where I might suggest somebody, but maybe George had him on last week and I didn't realize it, or George is going to have him on in 2 or 3 weeks, or her in 2 or 3 weeks, and I didn't know it. So, I do got to make sure that that's not the case, and, kind of get the approval from all that. But it's been great, for the most part. I mean, for all of it, it's been great. But did I have someone that I wasn't comfortable with? It's probably in Coast to Coast history now as a classic, and I don't even know if I should bring it up to rehash it. However, you asked the question, so let me do this. A friend of mine a couple weeks ago was driving through Kentucky, and we had lunch as they came through. It was an old producer-director friend of mine from years ago when I was living in Orlando and Sarasota, Florida, Siesta and Longboat Key area. And I did a lot of shows for him. He did a lot of industrial work, and he also used to be a rocket scientist. He lived in Cape, and still does, at Cape Canaveral area. And he worked with NASA and all that kind of group. We did some NASA and space shuttle industrial films. It was great. It was great. And we became great friends because just loving the industry of industrials and shooting shows and traveling and doing freaking rockets and, space shuttle stuff, NASA. I mean, that was cool. I mean, we were there inside, I had media passes already from being in broadcast to watch the shuttles go up and stuff, but we actually were given other passes to go into areas to shoot these videos that I never would have gotten them any other way. And it was really, really fun. But we became friends. We always enjoyed eating together too. If you shoot any videos at all, anybody that's ever been on a set of any sort, usually the food is just quick and, move on, eat and go. But no, he would stop the production and we would eat somewhere really nice, really cool, really funky, really interesting, really delicious. And then we'd get back to work when we were done eating. Loved working with him. He was the best. Anyway, he stopped through and he said, yeah. My favorite, he said, Connie, it was great when you went on Coast because I've always listened to Coast every night, all my life, every night I sleep to Coast. And he said, when you started being on, it was fantastic because here's my buddy, and I'm like, yeah, and that's cool. And he said, but I got to tell you, all these years of listening to Coast, and that's a lot of nights. He said, you, by far, have been my absolute favorite classic show of all time was the night you were on. And I know at least one of you that's possibly watching out there that I hope ends up going to Labor Day weekend with me. You're probably already laughing because you know what it is. And I'm sorry about the anticipation of taking a while to get there. But it was scary. It was funny. It was frustrating. It was confusing. It was speechless. There are no words for it. So I'm going to ask you to stick around. We'll take a break. We'll be right back, and I'll tell you what happened. You're watching Blue Rock Talk with Connie Willis. We'll be right back. Hi everybody, welcome back to Blue Rock Talk with Connie Willis. I'm Connie Willis. Yo, Blue Rockers, the greeting, remember that's the greeting, and Blue Rockers, you are the ones that are in the know. So that's a great thing. I was building up to, I was asked a question, I think it was Arlo, I think it was you, that asked about if I ever had a guest on that I was uncomfortable with. And it wasn't really that I was uncomfortable with the guest, it was the situation that came up that had no idea was going to come up. I remember it was Valentine night, and I was on the air for Coast. Everybody else apparently had a date that night. Mine didn't show, so I was on the air. I do remember it being Valentine's night, and it was about the Montauk Project, and the guest was Preston Nichols. Now, Preston's great. I mean, what a story. And you know, my gosh, the Montauk Project, that's just a great story. And getting it from Preston Nichols himself, come on, that's fantastic. However, I didn't know what he was going to say. And let me tell you something about me before a show. I pretty much, I mean, I'm a conversational style person. I don't have 10 questions and I just throw them at you. I might provoke you in some way to go into an area, but I usually know what you're going to say or what you're going to talk about or have an idea of it. Now, I hope to go deeper and that person will tell me more than they've ever said before, because a lot of times people do just ask questions, and these people interviewed a lot get into this same old answer, because they get the same old question. But I like to have a conversation and go a lot deeper. It's just what I do. It just comes natural to me to do that, so I do it. Thank goodness I can, get some gigs from it. But you know, how do I say this? I really studied up on Preston because, I heard of the Montauk Project and I knew a little bit about it, but I wanted to know more. It's very deep as it is, okay? So I watched a lot of videos beforehand and read a lot of, things people wrote up about it. And my friend Christopher Garantano also did a documentary on it, which is a fantastic documentary called The Montauk Project. Check it out. He did a great job on the video, on the film. It's a film. I mean, great. And that's what we talked about. We talked with Christopher first and then brought on Preston. And I pretty much knew everything Preston would say because it was such a, way out there story that you better look it up before you ask any questions or you're going to freak yourself by getting the answers. Well, sometimes in interviews, you can ask somebody something and this is what they say. Oh, well, why don't we talk about that later in the show? As an interviewee or the interviewer, you don't want to hear that because you're like, well, the question actually just came up in conversation, so, go ahead and answer it. Let's don't wait. I had somebody doing that one time. They kept wanting to wait till the end of the show as if it was the big topics and the main points. Well, I don't want those main points to just be said and then be over. I want to get into them deeper, right? So if it comes up in conversation, let the flow go and let's do it. Well, make sure I still got you guys on here. Okay. Well, that happened with Preston Nichols. It's pretty early on to the show, and I asked him something. I don't really even remember. Yeah, what it was. It was about it was of course about the Montauk Project, but it was they're able to take these young guys and they could use mind control on them. And the question was, how did that work? How did you do it? I remember that there was a chair and you could sit in this chair and things, you could project things from that chair. And I remember some other different things about the story, but they would take these young boys and kidnap them, and these young men, boys, 1824 type thing, or so, and they would be able to program them in a way to have mind control and get them to do what they want. So the question was, how do you do that, if I'm remembering this correctly? And this has now been kind of a famous thing now, and maybe I should keep it swept under the rug, but we're all friends here. We're all blue rockers. Anyway, he responded, and he said that thing that no interviewer wants to hear is, we can talk about that later on in the show. And I'm thinking, well, at this point, to me, it's like 2:30 a.m. in the morning or so, Eastern time, and it's, 11:30, Pacific or something like that. So it's already late in the night. Why are we going to wait till later in the interview? We got a long way to go. I want people to hear you before some people nod off. I want to hear before I nod off. No, I'm not going to nod off. But, we're sitting there and I say, well, no, we don't need to wait till later on. You can go, let's go ahead and talk about it now. And he's like, no, we can wait till later. No. We can talk about it now. He's like, are you sure? And I was like, well, yeah. Because remember, I looked for everything I could find on this guy. I knew everything he was going to say. And he said, well, okay, if you're sure. And he started talking about how the procedure of getting these guys the best way in the exact moment, second, nanosecond, that worked for them to get someone to be able to control their mind. The exact precise second. And it started with two guys in a hotel room that were experimenting with it. Two scientific dudes, one of them being Preston. I can't remember who the other one was at the time. And it started out something about, okay, two of us in the hotel room, we're trying to experiment with this and trying to, see what works and what doesn't work. And so in our experimenting, we looked at each other, and this is how it started. It started that, well, I'm not a homo and you're not a homo, but... And then the story came out. Now I'm going to let you find that story on Coast to Coast, on that show, on Coast to Coast. I'm going to let you find it, because I don't want to put it on Blue Rock Talk. I've let you up so that you can go check it out yourself, because you got to hear it from him. It's not good coming from me. You have to hear it from him. And all you'll pretty much do is imagine what I'm thinking on the other side of that microphone. And I was still pretty new to Coast, and I didn't know what to do, because, and I'll just describe it to you, but I want you to go and find it on Coast. But I wasn't sure what to do, because the guy's answer, he did say, why don't you wait till later? Yeah, he did say that. He did use words that were politically correct, words that were not slang but were anatomically correct. What is that? You know what I'm saying? If you were a doctor and you were referring to parts of the body, you talk like that. He did tell it as the reason and the method that would work for what they said was, to get people to do whatever you wanted. And it kind of matched with what some people have said in the past about women and men relationships. I won't even go there. But if you go check it out yourself, you know what show to listen to. You'll know right when it happens. And you'll hear the silence of me wondering, am I still going to be on Coast for another show? I really didn't know. I didn't know he was going to say what he said. I had no idea. And so that's where I was, I don't know, I guess maybe uneasy, uncomfortable. You can maybe use those words. One part of my brain thought, oh my gosh, this is going to be classic. Another part of my brain was like, oh wow, this could actually go viral and mainstream. I could be on the Ellen show or some show talking about this. And I thought, oh no, I'm never going to be on Coast again. But these are the things that happen, and that was probably one of those times where I was like, what do I do? Because I had no idea. I was still new to Coast. And, you still hope that something like that doesn't happen. But I can't imagine that it would, but I never thought that it would in the first place. But that's something you can go check out. And sorry to bring you to that point without saying it, but you really got to go check it out for yourself. So anyway, I'm even embarrassed now, even thinking about it. But my friend was laughing his head off to me, who is a producer-director. And he was just, that was classic, Coast to Coast, that was classic. And it was you. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, I guess, if you look at it that way. I'm embarrassed now. Does anybody? I'm just going to look in the chat to see if anybody even knows what I'm talking about. Oh, okay, Kevin says, Kevin Moorhead, I think I actually remember this moment. Ha. John wrote, I thought it was going to be funny, and Connie started tearing up. She's the only one I listened to. No. I wasn't tearing up. No, I was trying to figure out how to put it into words. Tease, tease, tease. Yes, I had to. So there's about a 60-second delay, so you guys won't even hear that story. While I'm looking, you guys haven't written about it yet. So you're always behind on the chat. So anyway, in between that time right now, I want to say one more thing before I go. There is a great show on TV called People of Earth. You have to watch it. I am not getting paid endorsement for saying anything like that, but it is so funny. It's a joy to watch. I think it's on TBS, People of Earth. There's 3 aliens. You got a gray, you got a Nordic. I think that's a Nordic or a Pleiadian. I can never say that either. The Pleiadian one. But I think it's a Nordic, isn't it? Somebody tell me that. And there's also a reptilian. And it's just so funny. And you got an abductee group that gets together. And it's very well written because it is really written well from anybody that knows the abduction, that has studied any of the abduction world, that studied the alien world, that studied the UFO world. It is right on it. It is right on it. So it's fantastic writing. They know their content, and then they've turned it into these great characters, which we all know a character like that, and they've actually got the proper aliens, and they actually do the abductions as we know them to be, and it's fantastic. It's just funny, and I don't know, it's right on the money too, so I really enjoy watching it. There's another one that really has nothing to do with alien world, however, or maybe the technology. Silicon Valley, I just discovered that one on HBO. Hilarious. I'm telling you, hilarious. So let me see if you guys... Yep, a Nordic. Just don't get weird. Kevin's up on it. Kevin's up on it. People of Earth. Just don't get weird. And you are special. Those are 2 of the phrases that you'll hear a lot. So, and the other one is Silicon Valley. So anyway, I'll just check real quick, see if you guys haven't even caught up yet by the time I've gotten to here. I want to say thank you guys again for being here. Please like, if you haven't liked already, go up there and hit that like button. Hit it while you're here, please, don't forget. If somebody can copy the chat for me and then paste it into the comments below once YouTube puts this back up. Bugs. And if you guys can, after it goes back up, if you want to put any more comments in, that'd be fantastic. Let me know what you think. If you didn't get to put it into the chat, if I cut you off already. And also, give me any suggestions of things that you would like. Let me know if you like the metal detector show idea, if that interests you or not. It may not. Let me know about the Labor Day weekend and the name of the show. Please throw me out some more names. I appreciate that. And you can go back into the comments later and throw out some more. That's fine. Also, Sunday night, Coast to Coast with Astral Projector Albert Taylor and also the Stargeezer talking about the solar eclipse coming up. So it should be a fun show. And tomorrow night, I'm going to do my best to get on a Bigfoot Friday. That would be 10 p.m. Eastern, Arlo. Right here on Blue Rock Talk. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And if you can, please share this to your friends and family and relatives and help them to become a Blue Rocker by subscribing, and also get them in the know and quit talking angry politics and get in here and let's ponder and talk about Earth's most interesting conversations, people, places, and things. So talk to you guys soon. Thank you very much for being here. Talk to you on Coast soon. Talk to you more here on Blue Rock Talk. And I appreciate that you guys are here. Just don't get weird. You are special. Hey, yo, Blue Rockers. Talk to you soon. You're watching Blue Rock Talk with Connie Willis. And I am, let me get my little closing thing here. I am Connie Willis. Night, everybody.